But what if you could take a block of water and use it? You could go up.
Yeah.
What if you could take a crate? What would you do with it?
Go up.
What if you put a bed down? What could you do with it?
Go up. Hello, good morning, BBs.
Oh, good morning, BBs. It's too early.
It sure is.
Welcome to the first, best, and only morning show in existence. I'm Anthony Carboni.
And I'm Saige Ryan.
And this is going to ruin the world tour.
What
This
tour?
is going to ruin the tour.
What tour?
The world tour.
Okay,
God
man.
damn. Listen. Here's what I'm going to tell you. Addiction is not funny. Driving while drunk is not funny.
No. We have no idea if he's an addict.
But let me tell you something. He said that previously that he's had trouble with drinking. But here's what I'm going to tell you. That shit's funny.
A 22-year-old cop looking at him and going, "What tour?" because he doesn't know who Justin Timberlake is amazing. This is the future we deserved.
Justin Timberlake trying to big. I don't know if he was trying to big time this cop, trying to like, hey, do you know who I am? He might have just literally been thinking this is going to ruin the tour and said it out loud.
Because of the situation, because he was endangering people and making a horrible, dangerous choice, he deserved to be checked like that no matter what. Even if it was truly to himself and he wasn't trying to big time at all, he deserved to be checked of nobody gives a shit who you are right now, dude, because you messed up. And two, we didn't forget what you did to Britney.
Nope.
So I hope for the rest of your life you encounter people that go, "What tour?"
Listen, I also question anybody, and like, listen, I don't know these two people, but I also question anybody who's like best friends with James Fallon.
Yeah.
With Jimothy Fallon.
I didn't even know they were best
Oh,
friends.
they're like besties.
I know nothing about those two men.
Ugh.
I do my best not to.
Yeah.
Freaky little white boys. Pass. I'm good. For those who are not familiar of what's going on, Justin Timberlake got a DUI this week, and the story going around was not just Justin Timberlake gets a DUI, it was his mugshot that he is definitely crying in.
Yes.
And the quote, "This is definitely going to ruin the tour," to which a young cop went, "What tour?" Because they did not know who Justin Timberlake was.
And his answer was the world tour.
The world tour.
That
Given that that's a 22-year-old cop, if he had said Trolls World Tour, I think that cop would have gotten it.
The cop would have been like, "Oh shit,
oh, you're
the
Trolls.
troll
Yeah.
from World Tour."
Yeah, but he didn't, unfortunately. So that's great. I absolutely love it. I think that's hilarious. What he was doing is horrible. That's not funny at all.
Yeah, and you can look up the mugshot yourself because we don't do mugshot porn.
Yeah,
but he is definitely like. It honestly looks like a studio shot for one of his albums. Like, it's very Justin Timberlake coded. Like, because Justin Timberlake has that brand of I'm sexy, but I'm also so full of feelings.
Yeah. It's giving Future Sex Love sounds. It really is.
Just like, oh.
Yeah.
It
is.
And it's just, oof.
And here's the thing. In general, I would not laugh at somebody crying. That sounds horrible in almost any context.
Listen,
however,
if you're crying in a mugshot, you probably have a human soul. You know what I mean?
No, because you're not crying until you got caught. I don't care that you got caught. I care that you did what you did.
No.
I care that you endangered people.
It at least shows that, like, you understand what's happening.
No, he's crying for him.
Yeah, but that's...
He's crying because he got caught, and I don't think that's a human soul. He's crying because now he's messed up his tour, and not because he's like, "Oh no, I genuinely endangered people and could have killed someone."
All I'm saying is if you get arrested and you're crying in your mugshot, so what? I would be crying in a mugshot too. I'd be like, "Oh shit, this is it."
I also, wouldn't get a DUI. So
I got one, but I grew up in Florida.
Yeah.
Yeah, there is a mugshot of me.
Huh.
Yeah.
But not a DUI, a mugshot?
Yeah, DUI mugshot.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. It's a Florida rite of passage, practically.
Oh, yeah. Legally.
Legally in Florida, if you don't get a DUI, they actually revoke your license.
Yeah.
It's a weird catch-22 in Florida where they revoke your license for having the DUI.
Yeah.
But they also revoke your license for not having a DUI.
Sure.
you just generally everybody in Florida has to go one adult human here without having their driver's license after they get it. That's all.
I think people who get a DUI should feel bad and have to cry. That's it. You know, you endangered people. That's it at the end of the day.
He was apparently, according to police, he was driving with his wheels off the road. He had veered into another lane. He had blown through stop signs. This was in the Hamptons, thank goodness. And the Hamptons is very well prepared to deal with this because of all the times that Billy Joel has crashed cars in the Hamptons.
Jesus.
So they knew what to do immediately.
Yeah.
They thought it was just William Joel.
Yeah.
They were like, "Oh God, Billy's back."
Oh no.
But no, it's
a code Billy.
It was the young William Joel.
Yeah.
It was the next generation's William Joel.
Oh, don't give him that.
I mean, he won't have it.
Don't give him that.
He was moving towards it, but he won't have it.
He can't have it.
He's not going to have it.
I like Billy Joel.
At one point, well, sure.
I guess at one point we all liked Justin Timberlake too.
We're Jewish. We love Billy Joel.
We have to.
We have to.
Good morning, Alex. Do you like Billy Joel?
About to say that I love Billy Joel.
Yeah.
I was
It's a
about
room
to
full
come
of
in
3
and be
Jews
like,
and we all love Billy Joel.
I also love
Yeah.
Billy Joel. And
Yeah.
good morning.
Good morning. What's better, Vienna or scenes from an Italian restaurant?
Vienna all the way.
Vienna, right?
Yeah,
has to be.
it's Vienna.
God, Vienna's a good song. Hey, everybody, go ahead and listen to Vienna by Billy Joel, and then you are, as far as I'm concerned, that's your bar mitzvah.
Yeah.
You're good.
Yeah, you don't have to go through the whole, you don't have to get dunked and convert.
If you can whistle the intro to The Stranger,
Yeah.
you're allowed.
Mushboka.
Yeah. We've got a great show for you today, including the announcement of some games that, honestly, I didn't think these games were coming.
No.
Any of these games.
We're going to recap. I know you've all probably heard a lot about it, but we're going to give a little bit of thoughts on the Nintendo Direct, of course, but that's not the only game announcements we're going to get to.
It was a big Nintendo Direct, and we have to say something.
It was such a big Nintendo Direct.
We're going to talk about, of course, we're going to talk about some AI. We're going to talk about the return of some very, very Saige important platforms.
Games.
Online communities are returning.
We've got an interesting mix of good and bad news today.
Sure. So
and it's too early.
Hey, do you want the good news or the bad news first?
Yeah, you get to choose.
Hey, BBs, you want the good news or the bad news?
Do you want a good and bad news sandwich?
Yeah.
But which one's the bread? Because we've got enough of all of it. Everybody is pretty universally saying start with bad news.
Rip off that Band-Aid.
All right, well.
What do we want to start? Do we want to start with the damning video, or do we want to start with the damning article?
I think damning video.
Okay.
I think this is where we start.
I'll bring up the damning video
Yeah.
on my screen here, so we can get a little sound.
A little sound.
X, formerly known as Twitter, running beautifully this morning.
Working wonderfully as always.
Just continues to. Let me tell you something. You would have thought that Entropy would have taken X down by now. What with there being no one in the building fixing things.
Yeah.
But it keeps chugging along.
Pretty impressive.
Yeah. A testament to the people who were there before.
Yeah.
The ancient ones.
Right.
Who built the technology. Speaking of which, let's hear from one of the heads of OpenAI, shall we?
This is Mira Murati.
This is a clip from an interview, a long-form interview that she did recently.
I think it's really going to be a collaborative tool, especially in the creative spaces.
Sure.
Where
I do too.
Yeah, more people will become more creative.
What is creative?
What are those?
Creative jobs maybe will go away, but maybe they shouldn't have been there in the first place.
Hey! Hey! Absolutely fuck you!
What an unhinged thing to say.
What an unhinged thing to say.
Because here's the thing. If she had said some creative jobs might go away, but they're going to change, there's going to be new creative jobs. That's the platform argument with all technology that you can have. But to say they shouldn't have been there in the first place?
Yeah, that's the whole thing. It's always been less time on the repetitive drudge work.
Yes.
More time on the high-minded work.
Right.
Except now that AI has happened, they want you to know that AI is better at the high-minded creative work because they want you to be using it for everything.
Yeah.
And so they just say, what, can you draw a picture? Eat shit. My kid draws pictures.
But to say,
what do you...
maybe you should have never drawn pictures.
Yeah.
What would the AI be trained?
That just betrays... that just betrays so much.
It's so nonsensical.
The idea that she put creative in quotes a sentence before she said, maybe these people don't need jobs.
Maybe they should have never had them.
Yeah, maybe it should never been a job. This just betrays the way that they have thought about creative positions and the value of art this entire time.
Yeah, this is somebody who has never done an art in their entire life.
Because let me tell you what computers are actually best at replacing right now, something a computer could jump into and do immediately, any executive position.
Well, yeah, anybody can walk around the office all day if you put them on wheels.
Yeah, sure.
Put an iPad on wheels and let it go around and give people a virtual high five. That's what most executives do.
That little thing, the little robot thing that brings me my drinks at that sushi place, that could
fill the role of most CEOs.
That's the CEO of the sushi place.
Yeah.
Many people don't know that. It's doing both.
Yeah.
That's the thing is if you think about what like a CEO or a CFO are supposed to do, it's crunch numbers, look at the product, decide what makes line go up.
Yep.
Buddy, that's all computers have been doing since the dawn of time.
Yes. However, people do not want to, in these high-level corporate positions, go back to being laborers. They don't want to actually work in the companies they own. They have no interest in being a part of their own proletariat. So instead, they're like, okay, well, let's see if we can wait longer, try harder, and do worse. So we can keep our jobs, but get rid of all of the peasants below us.
AI churn, I've been reading, has already started to become a thing, which is AI has already swallowed up all of the data sets. AI has already captured just about all the data on the internet.
Yes.
So now what AI is capturing is more and more data captured by, or data created by AI.
Yeah.
So we're getting into the cycle now where AI is just spitting out bullshit and then regurgitating the bullshit.
Yes.
It's just swallowing it again. AI has turned into the human centipede we knew it would.
Yeah. It's so interesting because I don't believe that people, before they obtain this like absurd access to money and power, feel this way. And there's like, there's scientifically proven a brain rot of excessive wealth in the way that you like disconnect from yourself and others. Because like I, as somebody who owns a small business, right? I think
Humble
about
brag.
all the time. The word small is not makes it very humble. But I think about all the time, like if I could do just one job here, right?
Yeah.
Which nobody at a small business gets to do. If I could do just one job here, right? Like what would that be? I think about it all the time.
Yeah.
And it's like, obviously the creative work is a huge part of it, but like I love the day to day. I love working in my studio. And if I could replace things with technology, it would be things that I have to do as the CEO of the company, like run numbers and make business decisions and be like, oh no, what's going to be good for the sustainability of my business? I hate doing that part of it. I think it sucks. It's not good, fun work.
No.
I don't.
You want something that's going to, you want the data that is going to give you the gut check for the decisions that you have to make.
Yeah.
You don't want to be crunching the data all the time.
Why would I want to be doing that?
You run a creative studio.
I don't want to be the person who has to like sit in a financial meeting. I hate that. If technology could do finances for me entirely, I'd love that.
It turns out it can.
Kind of.
It can. And honestly, the only reason they make it hard, they make it go across multiple products and multiple platforms and multiple...
So they can charge you more for it?
Is so they can charge you multiple times for it.
Yeah.
And so you can still have to go to your CPA and your financial advisor.
And again, like, it's not a matter of I'm trying to say, like, I want to get rid of CPA, jobs.
No.
I get it. Jobs is jobs. I don't know. I don't know, man.
Well, 'cause
We're a
even
small
then-
business that can't afford, most of the time, a financial position. These could be tools that people could use to crunch numbers and hire more people to do actual work.
Yes.
Just, I wouldn't have to do the things that I don't feel like are work as part of my workday, which is look at a spreadsheet, read all of the data on it, and try to understand it.
But I will say on a personal level, an absolute fuck you to the entire finance industry. Sorry, I will. I don't know.
No.
I don't know.
I don't, not a fuck you to like individual finance workers who just have a job in finance.
No,
That's different.
No.
There's the industry and not the individuals who are like, I'm an accountant.
No.
No fuck you to
No
accountants.
fuck you to accountants.
It's fair. You can be an accountant.
No fuck you to accountants. I had to work
Especially not
Listen.
accountants.
Yeah, no.
We love accountants.
There are accountants that we really love. And then there are accountants that we really love.
Yeah.
And there are a lot of accountants that really love Billy Joel.
Yeah.
And that's not a stereotypical thing. There's a historical reason why you put us into those positions. Now listen.
Yes.
I don't mind like an individual accountant for the same reason like I had to work at a real estate firm for a while.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I've had friends that have had to work at banks and at stock, and at stock firms and stuff like that. But I can hate an industry.
Sure.
I can hate an industry.
Absolutely.
I can hate when an industry is done to the entire world.
100%.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Private property is theft.
That's right. That's
Anyways.
right.
Okay, so
what we should really get rid of first is like artists and videographers and actors and
maybe we never should have had them.
Honestly, should that have ever been a job? Why is like every I love that every CEO has just turned into that one uncle at Thanksgiving that doesn't understand what you do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just all of a sudden it's like, oh, and you think you can make money at that?
Yeah.
Oh, why should you? Ugh.
Oh.
Okay. Are you sure you don't want like a real job?
Yeah.
Ugh.
Well, I just, for like stability. What about a family?
Yeah. What about that? How are you going to do that?
That's cool though. No, you've always been different.
Yeah. Good Lord.
Right?
Good Lord. And the thing is that these companies are selling creativity. They always have been. Adobe, things like companies like Adobe, even companies like OpenAI, they're not trying to sell you, this is a photo editor. In their branding and all this stuff, they've always been trying to sell creativity. Mm-hmm. Creativity is in your hands.
Yeah.
You can be creative.
Yeah.
Because of, you can do it, you're allowed. Because of a society that is that uncle at Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Everybody from your guidance counselor in high school to your parents to adults that you will meet along the way will always look at you when you're trying to go into a creative field and go, huh.
Yes.
That shouldn't be a job, though.
Right.
I don't respect that.
Now, mind you, those same people gain a lot of value from it. And I've had these conversations with members of my family where it's like, but what's the value in it? Why should you make money from it? And it's like, okay, well, do you enjoy television?
Yeah.
Do you watch television?
Would you like to
spend
continue?
hours a day watching television and consuming it?
You like a movie?
Yeah.
You like an album?
Yeah.
You read a book?
That's someone's job.
That's somebody's job.
That's somebody's
they
job.
They don't deserve that? Like, they
Right.
don't deserve the money for being this thing that was important to you?
Right.
And because we're told that our entire lives, people just genuinely believe that, number one, creativity has no value, and number two, they are not creative.
Yeah.
And so you look at the branding for all of these companies, and it goes, don't worry, computer will be creative for you, because people fear the vulnerability of creativity.
Yeah.
And so now what they're trying to do is they're trying to say, like, oh, no, nobody's really creative, and like a lot of these creative jobs shouldn't even exist, because why should they? Like, creativity, we can just make it for you.
Yeah.
Don't worry, it's safe if we make it for you.
Right. You can't be bad at it. It's that thing that they do a lot in like superhero movies and stuff, how there's always somebody who is like the first season, I believe it's in the first season of The Legend of Korra. It might be the second season. No, it is the first season. It's the guy who's like, neutralize it all, no benders.
Sure.
No more benders.
Yeah.
I think all of the people who are like, these creative jobs shouldn't exist, we can just do it with a computer, are all of the people who are trying to take bending away Amon in the first season of The Legend of Korra, where it's like, well, it's not fair that you have bending abilities and not everyone does. And it doesn't matter if you use your bending abilities to other people's benefit. It's not fair.
Syndrome in The Incredibles.
Yes.
When everybody's special, nobody is.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Which is obviously a fallacy. It is obviously not true. And when it comes to creativity, it's not a superpower.
No.
Anybody can be creative in there's just so many different ways to be. But I also think there is a
Everybody's
fallacy.
just so creative.
Everybody's so creative. But I also think there is a fallacy in that everyone would do creative jobs if they could.
Yeah.
Because that is also not true. When I talk about the like, what would I like to do here? I mean it that like, I like organizing the stuff in my studio.
Sure.
Like I like hanging the lights from the grid and doing all of the things that are also not creative day-to-day work. Humans do actually enjoy a certain level of productive work. And we can show that because there's all of this like, well, if if money wasn't a thing, people wouldn't work. Yes, they would.
Yes, they would.
And they would do necessary tasks because you do them every day for free.
We have a drive to organize our lives. We have a drive
to take care of
to
people.
take care of ourselves and others around us.
Yes.
these are things we don't just want to sit around.
But
if you sit around, you get bored.
But that's where the disconnect happens. That's what I'm talking about, of these people in these like high level positions that genuinely lose that. Something that is so innate to human nature, which is like a desire to contribute and be productive.
Yes.
They actually do completely lose track of it.
What you hear from a lot of people is that CEOs, more often than not, stick their fingers into too many things because they have lost that. Like you're talking about, they've lost that connection. So they're like, well, I need my hands in every project and I need to come in and make a mark on that project. It's like, well, you don't.
Yeah.
You sit up at the top, which is what you wanted. You don't need to interfere so much with the day-to-day
But they
of
don't
us.
contribute. They walk around and they give high fives.
They walk around, they give high, but they also give edicts, right? Because they want to put that mark on it. The idea of organizing your shelves, they look at people like the shelves. They're just like, well, I don't like what you're doing. Do it this way. It's funny what you say about not everybody would do a creative thing for a living, because I always think about when I had just decided that I wanted to do on-camera work.
Yeah.
I went to an audition at the local film school. You know, one of the film colleges would have like mass auditions. You get stuff for your reel, that sort of thing. And my sister was like, "Oh, I'll come with you." And I was like, "Yeah, come audition. It'll be fun." Well, and she had never done anything like that before.
That's sweet.
It's very, I was like, "Come on, it'll be fun." And like, I'll help you through it.
Yeah.
And she went and she came out of the first audition. She was like, "Absolutely not."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Well, what happened?" She went, "Well, they said that I had to like act, I was in this building. I was supposed to act like I was in this building and it was on fire." I was like, "Yeah."
Yeah,
And
exactly.
she's like, yeah. And they like wanted me to scream. And I kind of did, but then I didn't. I was like, "Okay." I was like, "Why?" She's like, "Well, because the building's not really on fire. If the building was really on fire, I would scream, but like it's not."
Yeah, not for you, and that's fine.
And I was like, "I get it, man.
Yeah,
I get it.
You're not wrong. The building's not on fire."
I've got 2 more of these. Do you want to just hang out?"
Yeah. My sister would rather do any job in the world than be an on-camera performer.
Yeah. Everywhere I've worked, it's, people are like, "Oh, everybody wants to try everybody else's job, no matter where I go."
Yeah.
I'm just kind of like, "Cool. Like, let me hang out with you today and see what you do."
Yeah.
"Cool. Let me hang out with you today." I've always done that, and other people have always done that wherever I worked. And it's always funny. Like, people look at the things that they undervalue. Like, I worked at a large company that had a lot of on-camera talent, and you couldn't be talent as a job.
Yeah.
You had to have some other office job connected to it.
Yeah.
They simply wouldn't pay you to write and host something. They didn't feel like that was a job.
Yeah.
So you also had to be like a producer or an editor or work in audience development or social.
Which, depending on how your time is spent, that can be a realistic good thing and a bad thing.
If there isn't enough programming,
Yes.
If there isn't enough creative work to do, then
Yeah.
that makes sense.
Yes.
We had way too much creative work to do. And the creative work was suffering.
Yeah.
And we just kept looking at them and being like, the creative work is suffering because you don't value it.
Right.
And the shows will get worse and the product will get worse because we're focusing on all of the things around the product because we think those are the valuable things.
Yeah.
And we're not actually focusing on the creativity. This AI stuff cannot last forever.
No.
Not the way it is.
It'll pass to some extent. It'll pass in the way that it is right now, and we'll get the next probably horrible phase of it, I want to talk about another kind of like just icky little tech thing, because you all wanted the bad news out of the way. They said end on a light note to get into the weekend, and I think that makes sense.
I love that.
Everybody was so bummed when Oculus was purchased by Meta. Everybody was like, "Oh, but the Oculus was like amazing. Like, it sucks. They had a lot of faith and trust in this company beforehand, and they enjoyed it and they felt good about using it. And then it was purchased by Meta, and a lot of people didn't feel good about using it anymore."
Yeah, there was this golden period where Oculus like was sort of like pushing Palmer out.
Yeah.
And we were we were like, "Oh, Palmer Luckey's gonna be gone.
Yeah.
And the Oculus is gonna be its own thing, and it's gonna be cool." And then Meta.
Yeah, and then Meta. Now, you might have thought that's when bad people got involved with the Oculus. You might have thought that. But where's the guy who made the Oculus then? What's he doing? Is he somewhere doing the Lord's work? Is he somewhere making technology that you could love?
Yeah, if you're unfamiliar with the name Palmer Luckey, it's
Most people are.
Most people are because he has been out of the public eye. He was on the cover of Time magazine at one point.
Yeah. And now he's a mulleted jackass making headsets for the U.S. military.
Yup.
Palmer Luckey, founder of Oculus, has announced that he's working on a new head-mounted display for both military and non-military use.
Palmer has always sucked.
Yes, 100%.
Palmer has always sucked and has just continued delving deeper and deeper into a nightmare zone. I remember the first time we interviewed Palmer, we were one of the first people to interview him about the Oculus because we had Adam Sessler on Rev 3. And everybody was like, oh, the X-Play guy is moving to the internet. Mm-hmm. And so we got like a lot of big interviews because of that. And so Palmer came out at CES. We were one of the first interviews. Mm-hmm. And Palmer came with a dude in tow. And this dude was like clearly the business brains, marketing everything.
Yeah.
I believe his name was Lucas. I think he was still like there, but every time Palmer would open his mouth, like it was like this dude could tell what Palmer was about to say and would like put his hand on Palmer's shoulder, and then Palmer would say something completely different. This dude has always been unhinged.
Yes.
He just had people hinging him.
Yeah. So following his departure from going over to Facebook when Oculus was purchased, he did go with Facebook into Meta. He co-founded Anduril Industries, a military defense technology company. For a while, he was out of that space, and then this month, he revealed the Mod Retro Chromatic, a $199 handheld, basically shaped like a Game Boy, that has the ability to play Game Boy. Cool. It's like a competitor for the Analog Pocket, and everybody thought maybe he's going back to making gaming things.
I didn't know he was behind that.
The Mod Retro Chromatic.
Nobody buy the Mod Retro Chromatic.
And now he's going back to military technology. So this one, he said, yeah, I'm actually building a new headset right now. It's driven by military requirements, but it's also going to be used for non-military stuff.
Wow.
I don't. Now, somebody in the live studio audience asked, what is so bad about this? What is bad about making military technology? Well, the United States military is bad.
Well, first of all, the military technology is used to murder people.
Yeah. So,
So there's that, number one.
Number one, military technology is, can I make headsets that kill people? So inherently, on a human level, pretty bad. Two, we live in a police state, and not just us, but the whole rest of the world does because of us.
Yeah.
So if you're making the things that send our military to other places to cause harm, I would argue that's a pretty bad thing.
Number three, this technology trickles down. It doesn't stay at a military level.
Yes.
It starts off as expensive state-of-the-art military technology, and then it trickles down into law enforcement and other just completely not good things. There's no reason the police should have a killer drone.
You know what I think, Anthony? I think everybody who has a military defense contract that makes any kind of weapons for the military or for the cops should have to live like the fictionalized legend of the Winchester Mansion.
Yes.
The woman who was married to the founder of Winchester Guns. This is like a total, folk tale, essentially. But the idea of this Winchester mystery house that people tell was that she spent her whole life believing that she was haunted by the victims of her husband's guns.
And
she kept building the house. I'm going to finish this first, and then you can tell me. And she kept building out this house. Rose Red exactly is based on that. She kept building this house to run away from and try and hide from the spirits that were haunting her, from the victims of her husband's guns. I think everybody who builds a weapon for the military or the cops should have to be haunted forever.
I was just going to say, I love that this is one of three things that your mind always comes back to, because it's one of three things that my mind always comes back to as well. I'm always thinking about
the Winchester mystery
It's
house.
amazing. There's a great, if you want to read a very cool fictionalized account of it, there's a great comic from a few years back called House of Penance that I recommend to everybody. But yeah, you should have to. I think it's very fascinating that a lot of the people that work in military contracting and in military design, number one, never have to be in the military, never have to, or, or have decided that the military is the most important thing in the world.
Yeah.
And so they have a very unrealistic view of the things that they're making.
Yeah.
Or in order to just like have a career, they have to completely compartmentalize what they're doing. It's like how we were talking about how you can be an accountant, but we don't like global finance.
Sure.
There are engineers that work for defense contractors all the time. They're like, this stuff that I'm doing is really cool stuff, and the only place that has money to pay me to do it is the military, and that sucks. And we should really be looking at using all of this technology for more than enriching CEOs and killing people.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's just my view.
I don't know. Just an idea.
That's just my view.
Just an idea.
Also, that mod retrochromatic thing is a particular punch to the gut.
Yeah.
As somebody who likes little handheld game things.
Yeah. He was asked in this interview, what would you do if you were starting fresh? And he was like, actually, I am. I'm building weapons.
If you could start all over again, what would
if you could do anything.
Oh, killing machines.
Yeah.
And I think I could do it.
In fact, I'm gonna.
You know what? I can do it.
So,
Infinite Corp saying everybody wants to be Oppenheimer now? Yeah, right?
Yeah, honestly.
So there you go. Wait, we got one more bad.
We got one more bad. This is a particular bad for me. I'm very sad about this one, personally. Oh, wait, no, that bad. Oh, that one's not. That one's also just very sad for everybody. Yeah. That one's worse. Okay. Well.
Yeah, this is bad.
Damn.
I was like,
I was sad about a game being canceled.
I was like, no, I think this is pretty bad too.
No, I was sad about a game being canceled.
Right.
I forgot this was in here.
Hey.
Ooh.
Okay.
Spectrum Studios. Where do we even start with this? You guys have probably heard about this. This was a pretty big story this week, but essentially a game developer, I am going to give the name a try. Jacek Pierkowski, yes, I got there, has come under some very valid fire for saying that in order for his game developers, which his entire team had to be women for this for some reason, this entire section of his team, to develop a game that had saunas in it, they all had to do naked sauna time with him. And he didn't just say this to employees. He then defended it and was like, you guys don't understand. You're not going to hire somebody to build an airplane who's never been on an airplane, okay? Listen here.
Yeah, okay. But buddy, why do we have to go to the sauna with you?
Mm-hmm.
You come from a country that's just full of saunas.
Yes.
We could go on our own, and then we could compare notes about the sauna. We
Yeah.
don't have to all go to the sauna together.
Correct.
And there were several arguments made on
Yeah.
his side that got particularly dumber and dumber.
Yeah.
One of them was the cultural argument of like, it's not that weird over here.
Yeah.
It's a completely different thing over here. Okay, but I'm not from over there,
Yeah.
and you can't make me do it if I say that I'm uncomfortable. And if you're working on a global scale, then you have to be all right with that. And it's not just that developers from around the world had problems with it. His developers also had problems with it. They're like, hey man, a little weird. It's a little weird that you're forcing us to do this.
Justified it by being like, well, if you wore your clothes in the sauna, they'd get all mildewy. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, you don't do that.
You don't do that.
It's like George Lucas telling Carrie Fisher there's no underwear in space.
Yeah. It was bras.
There's no bras in space.
There's no bras in space.
Because they would strangle you.
Yeah.
He said, listen, he tried to explain it by saying, my narrative girls had to go to sauna with me.
When you call it my narrative girls already, you should be lit on fire.
My narrative girls had to go to sauna with me to come up with an amazing script for proof of concept.
Had to.
Technically, it's possible to do it without it, but I absolutely adore the fact that they could use their sauna experience to write awesome scenes. Buddy, they've probably gone to a sauna before.
Also, choke and die.
They don't need to go with you.
Somebody posted that they were looking for work, and he commented, said, "Feel free to, contact my narrative people. We can offer you some work at Spectrum Studios." And she replied and said, "Hi, we have already exchanged a few messages in the comments here. And from what you said, you consider naked sauna sessions a part of work responsibilities in your studio. I told you that's a deal breaker for me, and we called it a day. Thank you for your offer, though." Damn, the amount of professionalism that this woman is exhibiting on LinkedIn is shocking in response to this. And he replied, "Sure, didn't recall your name." Like, the thing is,
it's like, oh yeah, you said that actually harassing me was part of the job, and I said that I didn't want to be harassed. Oh yeah, fair point.
it's just so wild
cool.
because like we hear about people, your Bill Cosbys of the world doing these kinds of things, and they're all like, "No, what?
Wait, what did Bill Cosby
I
do?
would never stop it.
No,
I
Bill
would never
Cosby?
do that. We're not getting into this. You stop it right now." And they're like, "Oh my God, like that's not true. That's not what I said. That's not what I meant by it." And this guy's like, "No, that's exactly what I said and what I meant, dummies." Like, I just can't believe it. He said, like, in response to somebody else, "Honestly, you had a lot of time to prove me wrong, to write a scene in a sauna without being in a sauna and send it to another person at the company. Instead,
What?
we're wasting time on social media."
Wait, but why would I do that? Why would I do the work for you when you say if you get hired, you have to go to the naked sauna with me? That's not
Insane.
It wasn't like if I wrote the scene and sent it in, you would be like, well, it turns out people don't know. You were like, it needs to happen. This dude went on to say, "We're doing a game about sauna sessions. I don't want to waste my time having to explain what the difference is between ruskia banya or dry sauna. You have to feel it." Okay, man. Why do you have to be there with me?
He did say that he offered to organize a female-only event later, but didn't do that in the first place. He just
No.
required people to go with him first. And then it was like, "Whoa, if you guys are going to have a big problem with seeing my dick, okay."
If you don't want to sit naked with your boss sweating for an hour, I guess that's okay. I guess.
Now, let's talk about what this game is, right? Okay? This game about being a sauna master. They describe it as a groundbreaking game, a mix of, ready? Life is Strange.
Great.
Final Fantasy.
Sure.
Heart of Darkness.
Huh?
The Tourist.
What?
And THPS2.
Tony Hawk?
Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2.
I'm sorry.
2 specifically.
The sauna game is going to have the narrative of Life is Strange, the story and characters of Final Fantasy, the adventure levels
With dog.
With dog.
It says adventure levels with dog.
Of Heart of Darkness.
Uh-huh.
The exploration of the tourist and tricks and specials of Tony Hawk. Your sauna game?
Yeah, dude.
Buddy, I got two
dude.
things to tell you. Number one, no, it's not.
Yeah.
Or number two, and this is I think the real thing. I don't think sauna's as big a part of your game as you're saying. I don't think you need all these people to come naked to the sauna with you. Sounds like the sauna might just be a very tiny part of the game.
His comment said, "Again, it is not about getting naked. It is about experiencing different kinds of sauna. And if you knew anything about it, wetness level inside banya or steam one is around 90%. So towel is extremely wet after a few seconds. So you could still do it, but it may result with you getting a fungal infection."
Oh, this is with clothes. Yeah, it may result in a fungal infection.
So like you could, I guess, but like if you want to get a fungal infection, no, just don't take them to the sauna with you. He's like, "So really, you should be naked."
Okay.
If my boss ever told me I should be naked for anything, I'd push them out a window. On the spot.
Yeah.
Even the he needs to know that even the suggestion would be inappropriate, much less than non-negotiable.
If there is a situation where I should be naked, my boss shouldn't be there.
Yeah.
So what is my boss doing there?
And my boss should never comment on any situation in which I should be naked.
Yeah, it's just
Not the words should never. Nothing.
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 Absolutely nothing.
Nothing.
I don't know.
Absolutely not. Absolutely wild.
Yeah.
Anyways, okay. We're going to bring it back up. We're going to slowly come up.
That was
We're going to go to less bad news than that about games, but now we're in games. We're going to talk about a game that I was really looking forward to being canceled.
I'm just making a game about sitting on my lap.
Being canceled, not looking forward to being canceled.
It's just a game about sitting on my lap.
How are you going to do so without sitting on my lap?
How would you know what it's like to sit on my lap
We need a realistic experience.
without sitting on my lap?
Yeah, I mean, I guess you probably could just assume what it's like, but I don't think you'd get it
Sure,
right.
you've sat in laps.
Yeah.
My lap is different. I'm a different person.
Anyways.
Anyway, going back, slowly pulling up on the yoke here.
So in May, we were supposed to be getting The Sim Killer. This was supposed to be the game. All of the promos that have come out have looked too good to be true about this game.
This has been huge. We've talked about it a couple times. This is a game called Life by You. This is one of 2 games that we've been talking about.
Yeah.
But this one looked particularly good, particularly for Saige's.
Yeah, I was
You're a
super
big
excited
Sims
about
person.
this. It was announced in May of 2023. It was initially supposed to be released for May of 2024, and then in February they announced that it would be delayed into June, and then it was delayed again at the beginning of June, and now unfortunately canceled. We were so excited about it because it looked like it was Sims with a lot more customization, a lot more just like kind of realism in it. They had the ability to angle things a little bit better, customize things a little bit more.
Yeah.
The character creation looked incredibly in depth, but all of the videos of it all did feel like, big if true.
Big if true, yeah.
Every video.
I think the thing is, the Sims series, while still doing incredibly well, has not been making the moves the community has expected or implementing some huge features that the community has said are needed because it cuts away and chips away at some of their DLC and Sims packs and things like that. And so they kind of don't want to add it.
Plus just quality of life features that people have in mods now.
Yeah.
It essentially was looking at that and being like, okay, well, let's take all of the things that people are modding into The Sims and put it in the base game, which would have been so cool if this game was ever going to exist. But unfortunately, Paradox said a version that we would be satisfied with is too far away. Now, most game cancellations sound outright like it is just, the company deciding it's not worth the money. I will agree that it did look like this game was incredibly far away.
Yeah.
Every trailer for it, I'm just like, it's not coming out in May. There's no way. It's not coming out in June. There's no way.
I've got the first announcement trailer up here on my screen.
Like, it never looked like it was anywhere near being a game.
No, there was a lot of vertical slice stuff and a lot of demo stuff where it's like, okay, this is all in engine.
Yeah.
But I don't believe that this is final.
I just never believed that it was there. I don't know what exactly it is from these trailers, but it looked so unrealistic. Like, it just didn't look like this game was going to end up looking like this. It looked like, because they were showing these very specific slices of it, it looked like it was still very empty, you know? Like, this was done-ish, done enough for a trailer to show you this section, but like that there was no way there was more of this game than they put in the trailer. Yes, Paradox is mismanaged through and through, 100%. That's not incorrect of it. But somebody asked, let me scroll back in the chat a little bit, what is kind of the logic between cutting a game that's this far into development? It's the same in anything. There is like a reality of cutting your losses in anything.
Yeah.
Anything you're making where you're like, it's not going to get there in an amount of time that I am willing to. That was from Sephron in the live studio audience.
Yeah, there's
it's not going to get there. It's not going to get to the thing that we want it to. It's not happening. And how many more years do we have to work on this before people lose interest in it? Could we get this out in a way that we can ever make a return on our investment? Ever?
Yeah.
And also make a game that people want to play.
Right, because even if you manage to finish a game to an extent where it's like it's going to pass QA, right? Like, it's not broken. You can release it, it's not broken, but it's not great. Even if you make some money back that you lost on sales, you have to remember that there is still money in marketing, in support, in continued, even if you're not planning on updating the game, you do have to fix game-breaking bugs that may have slipped through. So there is a point in time where you look at a game or anything, any project that is unfinished, and you go, we're just going to keep losing.
So Kodoroku made the comparison of burying a movie at WB. This is not the same situation. I don't know what's going on, behind the scenes here, but canceling a game because it isn't going to come out how you wanted it to is not the same as canceling a completed movie that is universally agreed upon as being great because they want the tax break. So I'm sure Paradox is a big company, and I'm sure that there is an incentive in the same way, but there are many actually valid reasons to stop development on a game that is not going to come out as the game you wanted it to. And fans of games need to keep in mind where they're like, why would you release a bad, broken game? Why are you guys doing this? But also, why do you cancel games? And it's like, hey, there might be valid times to cancel games because they aren't coming out the way they want.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want them to release a bad version of this game. I don't want it.
Now, I will say this. One thing that's interesting about Paradox is Paradox is a company that has the appearance of being like one unified kind of company / studio, but that's not, that's not the case here.
No.
Paradox is a studio, but also a publisher. And the company that was making Life by You is a California-based studio called Tectonic. And it's entirely possible that from Paradox's perspective, they were just looking at it and they were like, we can't continue to support this studio that's only making this game.
Yes.
Because this studio is going to continue losing money. And we've just got to say it's got to go. Now, the cancellation of a game and, the ending of a studio at the same time always sucks.
Yes.
Because you do always have that question of, well, if they had a few more months to get it out, could it have saved the studio? Would this have been a popular thing?
Yeah.
So there are two sides of this argument for sure.
The thing that does give me a little bit, I feel like, of a peek into where this game was. So 2 weeks before the June 4th pushed release date. Okay, so June 4th was already delayed twice. They did a delay, and this time they didn't even put a date on it. They just said, we need more time.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like, hey, we need a couple more months. And that, to me, when you do a delay without a new release date, that says to me, it is far away.
Sure.
It is far from finished.
It could.
Or ready.
Yeah, that most of the time it does. It can also mean like, hey, just in case it slides again, we don't want to be the company that keeps putting out specific dates and missing them.
Yeah.
So we're just going to say, it's coming, we're working on it. And that's like
but pick a safe date then.
Yeah. And I mean,
pick
that's
a
like a
safe
PR.
date,
That's like a PR move though, too. It's like, hey, we're just going to take the time we need to make sure that it's finished properly.
Right.
It sucks to see another studio shut down, especially with what's been going on the last couple of years.
Folks in the live studio audience also pointed out that within the next 2 years, there will probably be The Sims 5. So they did need to get this out before The Sims 5 to really have any chance for it to have an attachment rate.
Well, and it's not just The Sims 5 either. The other one that we've been talking a lot about is Paralives.
Yeah.
Paralives is still in development and honestly has made, by the look of the trailers, has made way more progress in the last year than I think we saw from Life by You at all.
And Paralives is much more unique looking. Life by You looks like The Sims. It does. It has its unique elements to it, but you look at that and like from afar, I would be like, oh, you're playing The Sims?
Yeah.
It's a similar look. It's definitely designed to look like The Sims.
It is what Cities Skylines was to SimCity. It is, here is the SimCity that you've been wanting.
Yeah.
We're going to give it to you. Whereas Paralives is much more like...
If you'll show my screen, I just want to show you, Paralives has an art style that is unique.
Yeah, Paralives has a much more illustrative style. It has a much more modern game feel to it.
Yeah.
And it seems like it's more based on the current like cozy craze.
Yeah.
It's more based on like it's very heavy into decor. It's very heavy into style. It looks like it's catering to a slightly different audience, whereas The Sims is a game that's supposed to be for everyone.
Exactly. So if Paralives is coming out in 2025, that's where its expected release window is right now, and then we've probably got Sims in 2026, trying not to get buried in that, would be incredibly difficult. It is a bummer to see the studio shuttered. However, this was the only game, as far as we know, that they were working on. So it is like one of those things where it's like, yeah, that's kind of expected, unfortunately. It's devastating. I'm so sorry for everybody who put their time and creativity into this game and their work over the last few years. I'm so sad to see that these people all just lost their jobs. That's devastating.
Yeah. And especially because I think they really were filling a niche that people wanted.
Yeah.
And I think when we see The Sims 5 announced, I don't know that we'll see all the checks boxes being ticked that we saw with Life by You.
Yeah.
Because like I said, EA has different motivations than Paradox when they create their games.
And I think, based on the statements, now obviously we have to always remember that people can just lie on the internet. The statement is,
but they don't.
They would never.
Nobody does.
They say it was clear that the game was not going to be able to meet our expectations, which we've seen a lot of studio shutters recently, and all of the statements have been like, financially, we couldn't afford to keep the studio going. Financially.
Yes.
Right? And though obviously there is a financial aspect to this, no matter what, it is interesting to at least see in the statement that it was about the quality of the game, and I hope that that is the case.
Yeah. Now, Paradox does have a lot of games that are printing money. They have just as many games that kind of sputter out and kind of crash. I would say they've got about a 50-50 hit rate.
Yeah.
And it could be with
game.
this, huh?
But this is a big game.
This is a big game, and I will say their other really big game is Vampire Bloodlines 2, which, as we know, has had a decade of nightmarish development.
Yeah.
And it looks like they just are getting to the point where they can't afford.
They got to cut stuff off.
Yeah, because once they cancel Bloodlines, that's a huge move.
Yeah.
That's a huge move on there.
And they have been promising not to cancel Bloodlines for so long. It got to the point where we all were like, it's okay, Bloodlines canceled. Like, we know. Like, we know. It's okay.
Please.
Hey, you can just be honest with us. It's canceled. And they came back and they were like, it's not canceled. It's happening. We promise.
Here's a trailer.
If we don't give you this game, you can arrest us.
Here's a trailer, and it looks weird and bad and not like what you want.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. You can still cancel.
Yeah.
You can still cancel if you want to.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's what should we let's pull it up. Let's pull it up.
Okay.
What
do you want to talk about, Anthony?
Okay, if we're gonna pull it up, then we gotta skip this thing.
Okay.
Let's talk about Pizza Possum.
Anthony has been spamming me to watch this trailer for 2 days, and he only put it in the run of show today so that he could guarantee that I watch it in front of him. So I haven't seen this trailer yet.
I thought Chinese Room picked up Bloodlines to develop.
Different.
We're
going to watch it on Anthony's screen?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Okay, great. Let's see it. Audio, yeah?
I can put on audio.
Yeah.
This game, you are a possum that is trying to steal everyone's food. The dogs are police constables. And in order to unlock more areas of this adorable Italian countryside town, you must eat food. And you can hide in bushes, and you can drink oranginas for energy and run faster than them.
Yeah.
And you have to steal the princess dog's crown and her giant pizza.
Wow.
And you can play two player, and one's a raccoon.
It's giving like Goose Game meets Overcooked.
Yes.
It's very, very Goose Game.
It is. It's very honestly, when I was watching some gameplay of it, it's like weird possum Italian countryside Pac-Man.
Huh.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
In a way. But it's got like a little bit of stealth.
Yeah.
The sound design in this game, Saige.
I'm so excited.
You will love there is when you hide, it makes like little noises to let you know what's happening, obviously. And like there's a drum that starts up, just like a snare drum.
Okay.
When somebody sees you, it's like
Ooh.
and it starts like getting faster.
Yeah.
And then when you're being chased, like horns come in, but then when you hide in a bush, the music starts slowing down, and you can tell when nobody sees you anymore because the possum goes.
That's very fun. Ever played Moving Out?
Yes.
I feel like it also has like a similar vibe to the Moving Out games.
I think it's because the characters are so wibbly wobbly.
Because they're wibbly wobbly, they got big heads, and like as you get further into Moving Out, into the more difficult levels, there's a lot of just like moving parts. The multiplayer reminds me of that. And I love that as a multiplayer game.
It is so good.
That's fun.
It is so good game. It is out now, I think, on like everything.
Yeah.
I think on literally everything. So go get Pizza Possum.
Okay. I think we'll finish the show today, I think, with the Nintendo news, right?
Yeah.
It makes sense. We're not going to do it in the middle. So let me tell you about another very important piece of gaming news that's happening right now. Baby, Habbo Hotel never left you, but the Habbo Hotel that you knew wasn't really here. If you tried to log into Habbo Hotel and have an experience that you had nostalgia for, it might have felt just a little different. And I will say, honestly, only a little different, which is what makes this extra funny, because Habbo Hotel 2005 is back. Habbo Hotel Origins is now available on the website. I downloaded it last night. I played a little bit. It is incredibly broken and silly.
Yeah.
It does feel like going into a like social MMO in 2005. It really does in like the way that people are speaking. You enter into the public area that's like a coffee shop at the base of the hotel.
Yeah.
And there are constant polls running from people in the room on celebrities, and it's just a yes or no poll. I stood there live on the internet and got a Jason Derulo yes or no poll. That's amazing. That's so funny. I love it. It's rough to play. It's already having issues. A lot of people were logging in at the same time, obviously, and it just launched this week. So it is just an older version of the game. Mind you, again, they haven't changed that much about Habbo Hotel. Habbo Hotel is not like, oh, we've got those good graphics now. Like Habbo Hotel pretty much looks the same. So like I look at these other online MMOs that have done it. Online MMOs is a little redundant, but Webkins did this, right? Webkins had a brand new version of the game. They did Webkins Classic. Neopets did this. They had a new version of the game. They have like a Neopets Classic.
Vanilla WoW.
Play. Right. Vanilla WoW. Because there is a big difference between those things.
Yeah.
I logged on and I was like, I actually don't know what the difference.
What's the difference? Because it's still 2D, it's still pixel based. Like Habbo Hotel has not changed a ton.
It looks the same, and that's
honestly
funny.
The only thing that I can think that they added are a modicum of safety features.
Yeah.
So are those just gone? Is that what it means?
Yeah.
I will say this though, if you look at my screen for Origins, they did bring back the 2005 Habbo Hotel website, and it's very 2005.
It's so good.
I love my little tabs up here at the top.
Yeah.
I love my little post-it note.
Yeah.
I love my skeuomorphism. It's lovely. Look at this palette. This color palette is the most 2005 thing I've ever seen.
Perfect. So
it's gorgeous.
They say that this one, the Habbo Origins, is an 18 rated game and features less stringent auto moderation features than Habbo. Which the core game that is still going strong today features.
There it is.
But other than that, honestly, I don't really know what the difference is. Oh yeah, or old school RuneScape. I think that's also a perfect example of it. There's a huge difference.
Have you babes ever heard of old school
RuneScape and old school RuneScape? I love old school RuneScape.
Very interesting. Very interesting. Hey, Saige.
Yeah.
Do you know what else added an 17 and up area? Nintendo Online.
Oh.
Nintendo Online added Nintendo Online Mature.
Oh.
That's right.
What is that?
Nintendo Online Nights.
Yeah.
That's where you get to see Mario have sex.
I don't think that's correct.
That's where they keep the sex games.
I don't think that's right.
If you log on to your Switch and you say, "What's up, Switch? I want to see some adult sexual activity."
Yeah.
They say, "All right.
Are you
here
sure?
comes Nintendo Online Mature."
I don't think that's the case.
No?
I think you might be lying, Anthony.
Let me look it up.
Just double check. Yeah.
Oh, okay. No, you're right. It's just Perfect Dark and Turok Dinosaur Hunter.
Oh, okay.
They say the sex is gonna come in August.
Okay.
When it's like really hot out and nobody has air conditioning and people just get feral.
Yeah.
Mario just gets feral.
Yeah, that's exactly how statistically people get.
Yeah.
When they're hot and uncomfortable and there's no air conditioning.
That's right. Feral.
Yep. Everybody just wants it. Listen. I was still looking into this too, and I was still looking to see what the difference was, and they were just saying that it was, the Habbo client is aimed at like teenagers, and Habbo Origins is aimed at adults. That's it. It's just like, hey, go into all Habbo Hotel Origins if you're like somebody who played in 2005. You're too old to be on regular Habbo. We've made you a separate place.
So Nintendo could add this stuff.
They could. Let's talk about this
Why are they
Nintendo
not?
Direct. Let's talk about what they actually are adding to the Nintendo library. Now, when this Nintendo Direct was announced, we talked about this being kind of like the end of life for Switch and their final Nintendo Direct for the Switch, most likely. We don't know that that's for sure the case, but probably is based on the timeline of the Switch
retirement
2.
party, Switch gets a gold watch.
Yeah. So I didn't anticipate there being much, right?
No.
This seemed like it was going to be them just kind of like, firing off the last of their library that they had in development. Now, I will say, we are not guaranteed that none of these games are going to be on the Switch 2. A lot of these games are announced for 2025, so they could end up being on the Switch 2.
I highly believe.
Yeah.
I highly believe that is the case with a couple of these.
I think so too.
Because one of the biggest announcements was they finally showed some Prime 4.
Yes.
Prime 4, Metroid Prime 4 Beyond. And I'm looking at this game. I'm looking at this trailer, Saige. And I'm looking at the fact that it says just 2025. And I'm thinking to myself, if I was going to pick a game that was going to be a Switch and Switch 2 straddling game.
Yeah.
This is going to be the launch title for the Switch 2. It's this game. I'm looking at it. Digital Foundry went through it, and they're like, based on everything we are seeing, this is the Metroid Prime remastered engine.
Yeah.
It's running at like 900p. It's got like no anti-aliasing. It looks exactly like Metroid Prime remastered.
good.
But it also
looks so good.
looks so good.
It looks so freaking good.
The amount of detail that they added, the new assets and everything, it looks good. But this is definitely...
It looks Switch 2 good.
Yeah. This is definitely like when I looked at The Last of Us and I was like, this is also coming for PS4.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
This looks like a game that is straining on the Switch because it is meant to run on a Switch too.
I think so too. I think that's the case. I would have thought the other huge announcement from the Nintendo Direct would be a Switch 2 launch title. But no, this is coming September of 2024, so we know that it isn't. This is The Legend of Zelda: Echoes of Wisdom.
Yo!
Finally, other than the CDI version, an actual Zelda as a protagonist.
I've been
Legend
wondering.
of Zelda game.
We've all been wondering, what if Zelda was the girl? And now we will know. What if Zelda was the girl?
This trailer slapped so hard. I love this version of her.
Yes.
I love because it's giving, he said no pickles.
Yes.
I got you, babe. It's fantastic. This looks like so much fun. Essentially, Link gets sent into this like
probably
pit of darkness.
Yeah, some dark world probably, like you do. But right before he does, I love this. This is such a Link move.
Uh-huh.
He's such a sweetie.
He runs towards her and goes, "Oh no, I try to help. I'll free you."
Boop.
Oh,
He's
no.
like, remember me. I did my job.
I was a good boy.
This is so cool looking. And because it's Zelda, and she is the Triforce of Wisdom, and we know that she has magics
Yes.
and magics powers.
Yes.
That's what she uses.
Yes.
And she uses Zelda is a conjuration wizard.
She is, and I was so excited by it. I felt the same way initially, which was CC Phantom said, like, I'm really excited, but also give Zelda an actual weapon. Like, why can't she use her bow? I bet she will use her bow
Sure.
in this game, but I love that this has then just a different gameplay loop than the other playing as Link protagonist games do. I like that she has a different ability set. I enjoy that she gets her own type of game. You know what I mean? Like,
now the idea
this is cool and fun.
Yeah. Now the idea is she has a magic wand and she is able to recreate objects or enemies that she sees in the world. Though they did mostly limit it to tables and beds.
I don't know why they just
mostly-
showed tables in this trailer.
It was mostly tables and
a
beds.
lot of tables.
Here's what I'm saying. I'm sure that this is a very well thought out mechanic, and
Yeah.
I'm going to love it.
Yeah.
But I will say everything that they show
Tables.
is ability to go up.
Yeah.
So like later on, they're like, oh, but what if you could take a block of water and use it? You could go up.
Yeah.
What if you could take a crate? What would you do with it?
Go up.
What if you put a bed down? What could you do with it?
Go up.
Though I do like that when you set a bed down, no matter where you set it down,
Look at that box to go up.
no matter where you set a bed down, you get the command to rest.
Yeah.
So like you could see
You
that
could
she
just take
could
a little
rest.
nap there.
She could rest on that triple bunk
Yeah.
bed. I think it's so wild. The collecting enemies where they look like little toys.
Okay, this did save it for me because I was like, oh God, are we not going to see her actually do anything cool? Like, she's not going to fight. She just goes up. But when she creates a rock and throws it, I was like, that's kind of awesome.
Yeah.
That's kind of rad. Look at that.
Boom.
Let me just create a rock really quick and throw a boulder at you. That's rad. I'm
good.
back in.
We like that.
And then she learned how to make him.
Yeah. And she can like ride on enemies. She can send enemies out to fight for her.
So cool.
There's stuff going on.
Yeah.
It's not only up,
No.
but it's a lot of up.
No.
But it's good. I'm very
like,
excited for this.
Yeah.
Now,
plants and food and people. Oh, it's so cool. It's so clever.
Now, Saige, this is something that we called this.
Yeah.
If you remember, way back way back in the day, almost when the world was new. We might have still been in the studio at your house.
Wow.
Where Grezzo, who made Link's Awakening, the remaster, and has made like all these mobile Zelda titles and ports, they were hiring. They were hiring for a medieval fantasy game.
Yeah.
And everybody was like, well, they have Miitomo coming out in a few months. They're doing all this stuff. I was like, nah, man, you don't staff up for Miitomo. That's new Zelda. They're going to use this engine they just built to make 1 billion more Zeldas. You remember when we said that?
Yeah.
I thought that we would be getting like a remake of A Link to the Past.
Sure.
Because it clearly just goes 1-to-1 with that.
Yes.
But this is way better. I'm so glad they did this.
This looks incredible.
It looks so amazing.
I'm so excited, and I love that Nintendo didn't drop a logo, drop a teaser. Like, they gave us a trailer, they gave us gameplay, they gave it to us all at once, and I was like, Nintendo? For me?
Yeah.
What is it, my birthday?
Somebody was talking about this, and Nintendo has done such a good job because they are used to supporting one home console and one handheld console at a time. They have just figured out over the last 2 decades an amazing pipeline for staggering big releases and smaller but like equally interesting releases in a way that nobody else has figured out yet.
Yeah.
You look at Sony and you look at Microsoft, and they have to pull in third-party studios and third-party games to get that sort of like fill out to the portfolio.
Yeah.
But Nintendo, once they were like, no, both is one.
Yeah.
Both is one.
Both is one.
They can just put out games like nonstop. The other big one for me, I think the Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga games are the... I put them up against Thousand Year Door.
Wow.
I put them up against any Mario RPG. It's also my favorite art style. I love this version of Mario and Luigi.
Gorgeous. I love this. This is not really my favorite kind of gameplay. I don't tend to reach for these games, but this is Mario and Luigi Brothership. I love the art of it. It's the kind of game that I really enjoy watching people play, but I don't really enjoy playing.
Yeah, they did such a good job of the 2D like promotional art for those games. Had this gorgeous art style with like watercolor and colored pencil like shading.
Yeah.
And so you can see in the shading, they have like the purple shadows, like it's all the squash and stretch. The animation is so good. The speed lines, like when they swing their mallet, the mallet like lengthens the way it's supposed to in animation. It's gorgeous. And I cannot wait to play a new Superstar game. Shigeru Miyamoto, hater of story, is absolutely having the worst year of his life.
So much story games.
So much story games. Oh, we're getting the remake of Mario RPG.
Yeah.
We're getting the remake of Thousand Year Door.
Peach's game.
We're getting Peach's game. Uh-oh. We're getting story, baby.
We're getting story,
Sorry,
baby.
Shiggy, cry into your banjo.
We also got the announcement of Donkey Kong Country Returns HD.
Sure.
Sure.
Why not? Tropical
Interesting.
Freeze is a better game. You already have it.
I couldn't believe that they announced a new Mario Party. I think this has to be... Now, this says October 2024. I also feel like they have to straddle this one onto the new Switch 2.
This
has to also be on the Switch 2 because there has to be a Mario Party for Switch 2. This is a whole new Mario Party, and I was talking about this on stream last night because I was looking at it and I kept being like, no, this is more content for Mario Party, right? Like it's a whole new Mario Party.
Whole new Mario
this
Party.
Mario Party Jamboree, up to 20 players.
Yeah, it's got this 20-player sort of speed minigame rally.
So fun.
They have been learning,
that sounds awesome.
They've been learning so much from like the Tetris 99, Mario 99 thing, where they have this asynchronous, like huge multiplayer gameplay thing down. Here's what I'm going to say about the mall level. This could be Coconut Mall. It could just be Coconut Mall.
But it's Rainbow Galleria.
Why you got to create a new mall? Give me Coconut Mall. I love it.
You've had Coconut Mall.
I know, but let me walk around in it.
I know, but they're giving you something new.
I know.
I know. Look,
I don't hate it. I just like Coconut Mall as well.
this Rainbow Mall. I love this Rainbow Mall. It's so beautiful. There's something about that like maybe it is just like exactly my age demographic. It's just like I am feral for that aesthetic. For like a pastel rainbow mall.
Yeah.
It's hitting this like Y2K absolutely dreamy area for me.
We also get our first cart-based level, which feels like a no-brainer.
Yeah.
And then they show some of the levels that have like really changing environments. The Goomba Lagoon looks great. It looks amazing. And then we get 2 classic levels too.
Yeah.
2 of the, I think, all-time bangers.
Yeah.
We get the Western World from Mario Party 2, and then
Mario's Rainbow
Castle.
Classics.
Here's what I think. I think, yes, this comes out. Yes, this does have some sort of either backwards compatibility or up-resing or something.
Yeah.
We don't know what Nintendo's strategy is yet. But this will be something that's compatible on both, because you don't really need to like upscale remake do too much to a Mario Party.
No.
But you will get new boards and things like that
with the Switch 2.
With the Switch 2, with Nintendo Online membership.
Yeah,
That's what I think.
It'll be an online. I agree. I just couldn't believe how excited I was for a Mario Party.
Yeah.
I saw this and I was like, oh, I didn't expect to be pretty into this.
Well, I think it's because we went through the dark times of Mario Party.
Yeah.
And now I think the dark times of Mario Party are over. They sort of have gotten their heads back in the game. They're locked in now.
I agree. It activated a good amount of nostalgia for me. Those were kind of the exciting things. I will say the Lego Horizon Adventures looks adorable, super cute and fun.
Hey, this is my hot take.
Okay.
I think I'll probably have more fun with Lego Horizon than I did with Horizon.
Wow.
I like Horizon just fine. I like Horizon. I just didn't fall in love with it the way everybody else did.
Yeah.
Gameplay wise, it didn't do it for me. Now, little leggy.
Yeah.
Little leggy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Great.
Now, this is not TT Games.
No.
This is PlayStation Studios making a Lego game. So that's interesting.
It is.
Bit of a departure.
We saw another trailer for Tales of the Shire. It looks cuter every time I see it.
You mean the Lord of the Rings game?
The Lord of the Rings game.
Not the Lord of the Rings Tales of the Shire. That would have been too easy.
Tales of the Shire, the Lord of the Rings game.
The Lord of the Rings.
And also with you. We saw... Oh my God, I was so excited about this. Hello
Funko
Kitty Island. Honestly, Funko Fusion did look pretty fun.
No, stop.
It looks kind of fun.
Did it?
It's silly as hell. I don't like the art style typically of Funko. I really don't enjoy it. I've never enjoyed a Funko Pop personally.
Yeah.
But it looked like a kind of fun game.
You should hear it, like all the time. She's like, I don't know, like I don't love Funko Fusion, but like it looks pretty okay, right? Like we'll be sitting at lunch and she'll do that. She'll just be like, I don't know, Funko. I don't know, like what do you think of Funko Fusion?
It's not like, I don't know.
It's not like my favorite or anything, but like, Would you play Funko Fusion? I don't know. Looks pretty good, right?
Honestly, I do think it looks kind of fun. I don't have a problem with it.
It looks like one metric video game.
I don't know. I think running around as all these different kind of characters was kind of cute.
It's cute.
You're Scott Pilgrim, and then you're the doctor, and
sure,
it's silly.
If only there were other games where you could do something like that.
I don't know. I thought it looked kind of silly and fun. Hello Kitty Island Adventure, on the other hand, currently available only on Apple Arcade, is coming to the Switch. It was destined. It was born for the Switch. It needed to be on the Switch. It being kept behind Apple Arcade has kept so many people that would love this game from playing this game. It's a great game. It's so much fun.
A lot of people, when it first came out, it was like, oh, this is Animal Crossing on mobile because mobile doesn't have an Animal Crossing. It's actually not. It's got a lot of Animal Crossing in it, but it's much more of like an adventure, an adventure-based game. Like a, you've got goals, you've got things to do.
Quests for friends. Yeah.
The Lord of the Rings game.
It's a very cute, fun game.
Yeah.
And I do think there is enough to this game to be on Switch. There's a lot of concern a lot of the time with like mobile games coming to Switch of being like, am I going to play Switch prices for a mobile quality game? No, this was this was the best, I would say the fullest mobile game, like mobile first game I think I've ever played.
It's a real game.
It felt like a video game.
It's a real game. It was made with that. It was made with that Apple Arcade money.
Yeah.
And they definitely used their Apple Arcade money well.
I was playing it and I felt like I was playing a Switch game.
Yeah, it's good. A lot of good stuff. Definitely more than you would have expected.
Yes.
There was a bunch of other stuff, but you've heard about it.
Clone Chow nailed it. More of a Disney Dreamlight Valley for Sanrio.
It is a bit of Dreamlight Valley.
It's Dreamlight Valley, but Sanrio, and it's cute, and I love it.
Yeah, so there you go.
Nintendo Direct. I think that's pretty much everything we have time for today. But it is Friday, so that means things that we didn't get time for, we're going to talk about on the Patreon.
Yeah, that's right. You can just go over to patreon.com/pixelcircus, and you can join right now. I believe it's the $5 a month level where you get the bonus clips from us every week.
It is, and you can do a free trial, so you can check out and see if it's the kind of content that you would like. You can do so right now at patreon.com/pixelcircus, and this is your reminder that some things are changing here on the YouTube channel if you're watching on YouTube later. If you're on Twitch, this doesn't affect you. Don't worry about it. Everything else right now is staying the same, but the YouTube channel is splitting into 2 channels. None of the content that you know and love is going away. There will only be more content for you to love. So that is currently youtube.com/pixel_popculture, which you can check out. There is a link in the live chat. There is a link in the YouTube description below. Go ahead and subscribe over there if you want to keep seeing It's Too Early, because this channel will no longer have It's Too Early on it.
In a couple weeks, you're gonna start leaving comments on all our videos, and they're gonna say, "What happened to It's Too Early? Where did It's Too Early go?" We're telling you right now. We're telling you right now. Come with us.
Come with us.
Come with us.
This is so you can get all the stuff that you love and none of the stuff that you don't. So we appreciate everybody who has already subscribed over there. It's very cool of you, and we appreciate it so much. This is going to give us so much freedom to make so much good, cool stuff, and we're so excited about it.
Yeah.
I also wanted to say a huge thank you to people who have already supported us on Patreon. Thank you very much to Adam D and Rowan iCarly for being a part of our Pixel Plus shoutouts tier. You get a bunch of other cool stuff with that too. So if you want to personalized thank you on the show, that's how you do so. I also have so many personalized thank yous to do for the merch that we dropped.
Yeah.
I promised you that, and it is coming.
And she does them all with pen and ink, like a quill pen on parchment.
It's a video. Thank you very much.
She just does a wax seal on it. It's beautiful.
Yeah. Anyways, we are going to go through and thank everybody who also supported us during the show. But first, Anthony, where else can they find you?
You can find me everywhere at A Carboni, except for here on Twitch, where I'm at Anthony Carboni. Twitch, you cowards, is mine. Give it back to me. And I'm playing through every Castlevania game on my Twitch channel right now, and we are on Simon's Quest. We're probably going to wrap that up tonight.
Ooh.
Yeah. Simon's Quest got a lot of hate that it didn't deserve, I think. That's all I'm going to say.
I believe you. You can find me everywhere on the internet at Not Saige. I stream on my channel Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday. And you can find me tonight at 6 p.m. Pacific here on this very channel live.
What?
I am GMing the My Little Pony RPG for Renegade. It's going to be so much fun. We have a bunch of lovely friends coming by the studio this evening. I'm trying to GM more. So tonight I get to GM the My Little Pony universe. It's going to be so much fun.
Applejack Nation.
Come and watch it. If you're watching on YouTube later, it will be also on YouTube after that. So I hope we'll see you there. How about you, Alex?
Well, I also want to shout out that game because I'm going to be there TDing, and I'm very excited for it. But you can find me on the internet on Twitter at Alder_Mancy or on Instagram at Alex Teplitz.
Thank you, everybody, so much for spending your morning with us. We appreciate you being here. As a reminder, we do the show every Monday and Friday live on Twitch at 9 a.m. Pacific, or you can catch it on YouTube after or on the podcast platform of your choosing.
That's right.
And we will see you on Patreon.
Bye, BBs.